Hey, Smugglings, what is happening? So, this is going to be the review for Gladiator 2 that I said I was going to do in the last video. So, this is going to be a bit of a rough video because I've got that much editing equipment at the minute. The videos will get better in time, but it's just going to be casual discussion between us, Smugglings, between us. I'm just going to be talking about the movie Gladiator 2 and what I thought of it. So I'm going to do that now. And we're going to basically give a bit of context that I absolutely love the original Gladiator. It's one of my favorite movies, one of the formative movies of my youth. I love Ridley Scott as a director. I think he's absolutely fantastic. And Russell Crowe. Who doesn't love Russell Crowe? You know what I mean? Who doesn't? And I was really anticipating the sequel. Really was excited for the sequel. You know when people say that they're not excited for a sequel to a movie that they hold really dear. I'm never that person. I'm always excited to see more of what I love. So that is what is the case for me. And long time since the original Gladiator came out in 2000, so 2024. So there's more distance between Gladiator 1 and 2 than Return of the Jedi and The Phantom Menace, which is fucking crazy because those movies are so different. And it's a long time, but I was really excited to see it. And starting off with this one, we've got Lucius, and we're following him 16 years after the death of Marcus Aurelius. Rome is ruled by corrupt emperors, Caracal and Gaeta, and they lead this campaign against the North African kingdom of Numidia. And Lucius is living there with his wife, and the army takes out his wife, depriving him of his family, and he's enslaved by the Roman army. And he is now under the apprenticeship of the stable master Denzel Washington, who promises him the chance to kill General Cassius if he wins enough fight in the Roman gladiatorial arenas. And that's what the movie is. It's a revenge tale, very much like the original movie. So that is what the movie is. And we got Paul Mescal as Lucius. Very good job here. I love Paul Mescal. I thought he's been really great in movies like After Sun and All of Us Strangers. He's really great talent. So I was really excited to see him step into this role. And I think he did a absolutely fantastic job with this. And then we've also got Pedro Pascal as the General Cassius that invades the kingdom of Numidia and takes away the wife of Paul Mescal. And you really see it conflict in the movie, and they do delve into that in the movie. And I want to see more of that. I think that's the nitpick I have with his characters. I want to see more of his torment after having deprived so many people of their family due to this military campaign that was run by the crazy twin emperors. And he plays that character. And then we've got Denzel Washington as the stable master, and he is really good. Probably the standard of the movie, Denzel Washington as Macrinus. Does a really great job here. Denzel's always fucking great, isn't he? Always great, Denzel, and really great to see him here in this and steals the scenes, everyone that he's in, and you get a few surprises with his character throughout the film. It might not be for some people, but I get quite immersed within the world of the movie when I'm watching a movie, so I don't always have that insight to think outside the actual plot that's happening in front of me, and I really do get immersed in the world. So it was surprising to me to see some of the reveals for his character. And then you've also got the twin emperors, Gaeta and Caracalla, and they're played by Joseph Quinn and Fred Hershinger. And they are stepping into the role of Commodus from the first one. Now, I think Commodus from the first movie, played by Joaquin Phoenix, is one of the greatest movie villains of all time. I think he's a really underrated movie villain, and I think he's got a really valid reason for being so vengeful and angst riddled in that movie because basically his birthright was taken away from him. His birthright and the love of his father was taken away from him by Maximus, and I think it's a really cool interpretation of the character that Joaquin Phoenix did for that. So those are the members of the principal cast, and all phenomenal. No complaints at all with them. And the movie is a big action epic. It really is an action epic on a massive scale, as you'd expect from Ridley Scott. He never really pulls any punches with his scale. He goes all out with the money, and you can really see that on display here. It's a really beautifully made film, and really was a sight to behold when you're watching it. And the way I'm going to segment this review is that I'm going to be talking about the things I think were bad, things I think were good, and then the verdict of the film. So I typically start with the introduction of the cast and crew, the plot, the context, and then the bad, the good, the rating. So that's how I think I will divide it. Now, there's not much bad to say about this movie for me. There's some things that could improve, like I said, with General Cassius. I would have liked to have seen more about his character. I would like to see him develop more as a character. But that is minor nitpick. And the narrative is familiar if you've seen the original Gladiator. So the way it plays out is very close to that film. I don't think that's a spoiler to say because it's a template that so many blockbusters use, and this is quite an old-fashioned sort of movie. Movies aren't usually made like this at this scale, and we're used to movies throwing so many surprises at us with the Marvel movies and the Star Wars movies. They desperately try to surprise you with what they're showing on screen, and that does get a little bit boring, I think, in those movies. Even though I love Star Wars, absolutely adore Star Wars, and I like some of the Marvel movies, you know. God damn, where's Star Wars, man? When are we getting a new Star Wars film? But that's besides the point, man. We need a new Star Wars film, but that'll happen when it'll happen. But that's really the only negatives that I have of the movie. That character development wasn't the best for General Acacius in particular, and the narrative is just very familiar. But that didn't detract from the film that much for me, quite honestly. The good is that it is a classic action adventure. It is a film that you would see in old Hollywood. You would see a lot of these types of films that were produced in the 90s and early 2000s, these big historical epics, the films that you love from each other, like Dances with Wolves, Troy, the original Gladiator, obviously, it's very similar to in that regard. And it was great to see such a fully realized world on display because we haven't had these big sword and sandals epics in a long time, and it was really refreshing to see one that had a lot of production behind it. It was really cool to see that, and that's one of the best parts of it. I say is the production design, along with the first one. The world is so fully realized because of the way it's designed, because of how accurate it looks. Even if it's not historically accurate in actuality, it feels that way because the world is so well done. So I really did love that, and like I said, the central cast are absolutely amazing in this movie. They really do the characters justice. They really bring them to life. Particularly Denzel, he has a lot of fun with his role, and he's obviously got a great personality. He's got a lot of charisma, Denzel Washington. So really cool to see him playing a character that suits him so well in this movie. And also have to talk about the music as well, because the original score for Gladiator by Hans Zimmer is phenomenal. One of the greatest film scores ever made, I think. And this one is a worthy success as well, because Hans Zimmer does return and you see those familiar tracks from the original movie, and I love that. And I was a bit baffled why they didn't use those themes. Now We Are Free. That track, I can't believe they didn't use that in the teaser trailer because that is one of the most powerful pieces of music and the most iconic piece of music all time, not just in films, but in all time. That is used in so many different adverts and trailers and different things like that. It is absolutely amazing. So that score really kicks in during the final act of the movie, and it really does hit you really hard when it happens. And I'm glad they got Hans Zimmer back because the music really adds to the world of Gladiator. So I'm really happy about that. So the rating I would give this, I do love giving ratings because that is the way I think of my mind. I'm always thinking, what is the rating for this particular film or game or book that I'm reading? What would the rating be for it? And for this one, I think it's probably going to be an 8.5 out of 10, which is a great score for a great movie. And I really did enjoy my time with this. Like I said, it's familiar, and the lack of character development for certain characters was a bit of a speak. It's a detraction for that, but that is absolutely fine. Like I said, it's not a big issue, but it's something worth noting, I think, and that is what I think of that. Like I said, really happy with Gladiator 2, the way it turned out, one of my most anticipated movies of 2024, and it really delivered the thrills and the action and the drama for this movie. So I really did love my time with Gladiator 2. What did you guys think of Gladiator 2 if you saw it, and what did you think of the original Gladiator with Big Russell Crowe himself? What do you guys think of that? And if you're excited to see the new Gladiator, let me know. And to let me know if I've persuaded you to see it, because that is always worth knowing. So, yeah, guys, I really appreciate you for watching Smugglings. You guys are awesome, and really do appreciate you guys watching. And I want to give a bit of a shout out to two YouTubers in particular, two bigger YouTubers. Like, YouTubers have a lot of subscribers, and that is Tony Fighter 2 and Donald Mackerel Gaming. They're very good YouTubers. Should check them out, guys. Do mainly gaming content, and I love their videos, and they've been really kind of they've mentioned me in videos, which I do appreciate because I'm a small YouTuber. I can't believe I can call myself a YouTuber, but I'm on YouTube trying to give it a go, and they've been really supportive, like leaving comments, just liking my videos, and that is amazing. I really do appreciate that, and had some good discussions with them, and they are top dogs. They are really good. So check out Donald Mackerel Gaming and Tony Fighter 2 because they are so awesome. So do that, guys. Right? Smoggy has instructed you to do that. Okay, so do that. But yeah, guys, that's my Gladiator 2 review. Gonna be doing some other videos. I'm not sure what just yet. We're gonna figure that out. But this is what it is at the minute. So I will catch you later, smuggling. So I appreciate you for watching, and bye bye.